our old friend of the program, the one and only King Casey O'Neill. It's been a while. Hello, Casey. How are you? Long time.
What's up, Ariel? Yeah, it's been a while. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's great to have you on. First of all, how are you feeling? First things first. Can we get an update? I know you were disappointed to not be fighting this past weekend. How's the body feeling?
Yeah, I feel great right now because, obviously I've been recovering for the last 6 or so weeks, but finally healthy again. Got the all clear from the doctor at the last check-in, I guess, and ready to get back into training. Super disappointed that I missed Australia, but it seemed like the crowd was good. The energy was good. I'm sure they're going to go back real soon. So I'm excited to get on another Australia card as soon as possible.
How difficult was it for you to watch that on Saturday?
I turned it off for a little bit because it was hard. I was sad. It would have been my first time fighting for the UFC in Australia, obviously, and I started my career in Australia, so it would have been a big deal. But I'm just happy for everybody who did get to, fight on the card. And obviously, it was an up and down night for the Aussies, but the crowd stayed pretty good, and it was awesome to watch.
Obviously, we saw you back in March. The big comeback didn't quite go your way. Do you feel like you're over it, or do you think you'll only be over that performance, that result, once you get back in there and get back, to your winning ways?
I don't know. I think that I go like between the two. Obviously, as I've always said, like being undefeated was like never the goal. Just being the best in the world is the goal. So like I'm not super disappointed over a loss, but I'm more disappointed that I know that I could have done better in that fight. I think like for the first time ever in my career, I just like didn't show up on the night, and it was like a super weird feeling. I just couldn't like shake myself out of whatever was happening. Um, I don't know. In between rounds, I felt great, and then just when the round would start, it would like shut down almost. Like my brain would just like not work, and the only thing that I could like figure out what to do was like walk forward, which wasn't the game plan either. So yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a mixed bag of emotions over that because that wasn't like me at my best. So I can't be like too upset. But at the same time, I still did lose and I didn't get the big comeback that I wanted to have. And then obviously this second injury put me further back again because I didn't get to come back and avenge the loss. So it's been a trying year again for me, two in a row.
By the way, just curious, was there anything that happened that week or that fight day that made you feel like you weren't going to quote unquote show up? Like, were you, did you feel off at all in the locker room, fight week, hotel, etc.?
No, I felt great, honestly. Like I had like a really easy weight cut. I only ended up cutting like 3 or 4 pounds, which is like my smallest weight cut ever. I had dieted really well. I was in great shape. I just felt like so good. So then it was weird. Like I felt great in the locker room even. Like I didn't feel weird until as soon as I like got into the cage, something changed in my mind. I don't know what happened. So I'm still trying to figure that out.
In retrospect, do you think you came back too fast?
Probably, but I wouldn't change it because that was my main goal. Like I wanted to come back so bad, win or lose, like it didn't matter. That was the date that I had set for myself and I wanted to make sure that I got to it and I did. So we didn't win, but I still did what I wanted to do. So it's okay.
I know you said you turned it off. I'm assuming you turned the event back on Saturday.
Mhm.
You train at Extreme Couture with Sean Strickland. I don't know. Are you good mates? Or do you guys hang out? Do you go to In and Out together? How would you describe your relationship with Sean?
We have like a testy relationship. I'm sure you guys see on social media. We like to poke fun at each other. I think we're both just really big personalities, I guess. So sometimes that clashes. Like I like Sean. I think that, like he is authentic and he is himself, but sometimes I don't like what he says or what he stands for. So I can't always agree with the guy.
What is he like in the gym? Is he like the guy that we see on camera, or is he any different?
He's a great teammate, like he is always there for all of the big guys. I see that a lot. He'll give everybody rounds. He'll try and help people. People come in to help him. He'll make sure that they get extra rounds with other people and stuff. So he is a very good teammate. when it comes to like stuff in the gym, and he works really, really hard. So he definitely deserved the opportunity that he got. I was shocked at how he beat Izzy and everything, but like seeing how much he trains and how hard he works, I knew it was always going to be a possibility, but I just didn't expect him to stand there and bang with Izzy and then, come out on top.
And just curious if I may, I know you have a great relationship with Izzy as well, and you're part of the chosen few with Tim Simpson as your managers, or as your manager for the both of you, among others, Tai Tuivasa as well. Who were you rooting for in that fight?
I wasn't. I
Oh,
was like, I really wanted Eric to do well, like Eric is also my coach. So I was like nervous and I wanted the team to do well. But then obviously I want Tim to succeed all the time as well. So it was a really hard one for me. I just wanted to, I wanted either way it to be a great fight. And I think, it did deliver a great fight and everyone seems to be okay. And moving forward, I think they're going to do the rematch. So we'll see what happens after that.
but fair to say you were shocked at the way the fight played out.
Yeah, I think everybody was shocked at that. It just seemed like Sean might have had his best performance ever, and Izzy definitely didn't have his best performance. But leading up, like during the week, you seen Sean and stuff. I kept thinking he looked really nervous. Like I'd never seen Sean avoid eye contact and like stuff like that. But I guess it was like a game that he was playing mentally maybe or something, because as soon as he got into the cage, all that seemed to like, go the other way. And it was crazy.
It is amazing, like, even with the face-offs, like, can't even hold it for 2 seconds. He's talking and he's moving around and all that stuff, and then when you see him walk out, you think maybe he's a little nervous, trepidatious, and then you see him perform like that. Do you think that was more about what Izzy didn't do than what Sean did? Or was that more about what Sean did and Izzy did? Like, who is the reason for that performance?
It's both, Sean definitely showed up, and you watch Sean's fights, he always has that bully mentality. He always pressures forward and he stays in your face like a whole fight. You have to really put him out in order to, beat him. But as he just allowed that pressure and he was sort of like on the back foot for, 25 minutes. So after the first round, I don't know how much he was able to recover either. That right hand that dropped him was crazy. I thought we were going to get a new champ after the first round. I was jumping up. I was going crazy. I was like, what is happening? Felt like I was in like an alternate universe, like Sean dropped Izzy. It just didn't make sense in my head. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I think that both sides played into it. Israel's corner, they were saying we don't have an adjustment for what he was doing. So I think that Israel was trying to find something in between in the rounds, and I think he was just thinking too much. And I think that Sean stayed busy on his like 1-2 and just didn't allow Izzy to set things up. So I think Sean had a great performance.
Were you surprised that the Australian crowd seemed to like Sean way more than Izzy?
No, like both are polarizing figures, Izzy is very authentic and he's very himself, and sometimes people don't like that. And then Sean is also the same, but people seem to love it. Like, I don't know, like it at first, when I first met Sean Strickland, like at the gym, I thought it was a gimmick, but that is actually Sean. Like he just like says these crazy outlandish things, and like some people love it and they're there for it. And sometimes I'm like, what are you saying? Like, stop talking, but yeah, they loved it over there. I don't know.
Do you get into arguments with him, like friendly arguments about things at the gym?
All the time. We literally fight all the time,
About what? Could you tell us about what?
Uh anything, honestly, it could be anything. Like he could be talking about guns and like stuff like that, shooting people. I don't know. He just goes too far, like a conversation will start here and Sean like gets here in the next sentence. And I'm like, what, how did you get there? Like we weren't talking about that at all. I don't know. The one about Khalil Roundtree, obviously we had a little argument about that, about what really happened when Khalil came into the gym. But it's all love there. I still like want him to do well and everything. We just have little arguments, I think, because we're both strong personalities.
Can I ask you about Eric Nicksick? He's one of my favorite people in the sport. I love how he conducts himself. I love listening to him in the corner. Everyone seems to speak very highly of him. From your perspective, what is he like as a coach?
He's just got this like thing that I've never really had with anyone else, like this motivational way of talking to you and like pulling things out of you, like um in the gym at like sparring and stuff, but also in fights, like you see it, he has like a connection. And I don't know if it's like from him playing football for a long time or something like that, but he just has this way to like make sure that you give your all, like even when I'm sparring and say it's a tough round or whatever, the next round is always my best round just because of the pep talk that he gives you in the corner. He focuses a lot on like giving you just like clear information and like short bursts, but he also like makes sure that that why you're there and why you're doing it, So I think he just pulls motivation out of people.
By the way, back to Izzy and Sean. Why do you think people hate Izzy because he is so open in himself and authentic, but people love Sean for those same reasons?
I guess they just stand for different things, I think, so I'm not 100% sure, because I love Izzy. I think that he stands for great things. I think that he's done great things for the sport, and I'm not really sure why, but also I'm sure you've heard him talk about it, and a lot of people talk about it. In Australia, there is this like weird tall poppy syndrome where people don't want to see people where they're from do well. And it's really weird, I think that they kind of like clap at people's like demise, which
Mm.
is like really shit. Sorry, I don't know if I meant to swear,
No,
but
no, go
it
ahead.
is. And I've seen it and I've felt it, like even after my last fight, people were like, Australia don't claim you, like blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that it's a little bit about being from there as well. They don't want to see you do better than them sometimes.
You were getting that kind of stuff after your last fight?
Yeah, yeah, I get that win or lose though, like I don't know if it's because I'm from Scotland and moved to Australia and I claim both of them, but I kind of get it on both sides sometimes.
You get it from Scottish fans too?
Sometimes, yeah, people are really mean online because, nothing can happen. So I just take it with a grain of salt and don't really listen to that. And I've started like being better at the old like post and ghost type thing.
Ah, smart.
Whenever I post, I don't really read the comments anymore. I just post it and leave it and move on.
Imagine being an athlete in the 90s where none of this came into play. Like, there's no part of your brain that is occupied by any of the stuff that I can't imagine being an athlete in 2023, having a tough night at the quote unquote office and then having to read that shit. I can't imagine. Like, I can't imagine what's going on in Izzy's, inbox or his mentions right now. Could you imagine the cesspool that it must be?
Yeah, I mean, you can see it. Like you go onto his page and look at the comments, you can see it. But he's one of the people that's like super strong willed. I'm sure that he's not paying any attention to that. I think that the fight with Alex Pereira probably hurt more, and look what he came back and did. So I'm sure that he's going to come back and, put on another great performance, and everybody will turn the other way. The same people that comment that they hate you when you lose comment that you're the best after you win. So you're never going to win everybody over.
We'll never know until we talk to him. I actually think this one will hurt him more than the Alex one because the Alex one, he had already lost him a couple times and he was winning that fight. I think this
Mhm.
one will sit with him for a very long time because I think he feels deep down inside that he is much better than Sean.
He probably does believe that. I don't know whether, he's just been fighting very, very often, whether he just needs a break. He might be better to tell you than me, but in my opinion, it looks like he probably just needs a break. And
Yeah.
obviously, all that stuff with Drakus that happened had to be emotionally challenging. And then he had to turn around fairly quickly and then start focusing on someone else. So probably just a little bit of burnout, which every athlete experiences, but he definitely wanted to be on the card and, put on a show for Australia and New Zealand, being from there. So I think that people need to give him his flowers still as well, because without him, who's to say what that main event would have been?
Right. By the way, if you're Tim and Izzy and the team, are you pushing for an immediate rematch or are you
I'm sure they are.
yeah?
I'm sure they are. I think Israel's main goal is to be the best from everything that I've ever seen. So I'm sure that fighting for the belt again would be his on top of his mind right now.
What about that MMA Hours on Fire song last week? I mean, wasn't that
I
incredible?
loved it. I
Thank you.
loved
Thank you.
it.
It's very
So
kind of
I
you.
know I already texted you, but it was crazy. I literally listened to that song on the way to the gym in the morning, and then I opened Instagram and like saw you did that song, and I just thought it was great.
Isn't that amazing? Now, do you usually listen to that kind of music on the way to training? That's like old school Billy Joel.
Not really, honestly. It was like a really weird day. Like I was listening to like a bunch of random music that I don't really listen to. I usually listen to hip hop, so that's why I thought it was so weird. It like stuck out to me.
Yeah. What kind of hip hop?
Everything, honestly. Old school, new school, whatever.
You don't have a
Just
preference?
not the mumble rap stuff, like
The mumble rap.
yeah.
What is that?
Um, I don't know, like all those littles, like little babies, baby and
Oh,
all those people that just came out, NBA, Young
why?
Boy, those music. I just don't like it.
Okay.
I
So,
I like Biggie, I like Tupac,
okay,
I
old
like all
school.
that kind of yeah, yeah.
Drake? Do you like
I
Drake?
know Kanye. I love Drake. I love Drake,
People
yeah.
want to hate on
He
Drake
was
all the
just
time.
here.
He was?
He was just here. Yeah, but it was $400 a ticket, so I wasn't going to that. But
Was that did he play in the stadium, Allegiant Stadium or T-Mobile?
yeah, I don't know. I don't know which one it was.
Do you
It was
like
a
s- do
big
you,
deal anyway.
I'm big into Central C these days. You like Central C?
Not really.
Hmm. You don't like the
No.
UK rap?
Trap. I do. I like RD. Do you know who RD
No,
is?
I don't know that.
I like him. Look up the song RD Flowers. I like that song a lot.
Is his name RD, like the letter RD?
No, it's
Oh
ARRDEE.
gosh, all right, I screwed that up. All right,
Yeah.
I will check that out. I
Yeah.
didn't think that you'd be an old school rap gal. I didn't think that you would listen to like,
Really?
yeah, Biggie.
That's like my dad ever listened to growing up. So I kind of got like forced into it by him. That was his favorite.
How old is your dad?
He just turned 50.
Wow, happy
So
birthday!
yeah, so he's 59.
I saw the shout outs for Eternal MMA throughout the night. That must feel good,
Hmm.
right? To see them get shine on a UFC broadcast.
Yeah, he has a deal with obviously UFC Fight Pass, so they put on a card the night before every UFC event that's in
Oh,
Australia. So he had a show in Sydney last on Friday night, I
hmm,
think, in Australia, Saturday night. I don't know. It was weird because it was a Sunday card. It might have been Saturday night
right.
fights. Um, but yeah, and then obviously he helps me a lot with my grappling show, King's Cup. And we have a tournament this Saturday, so he's been very
Wait a second.
busy
Wait a
with
second.
all
What's your grappling? How do I not know about this? You have a grappling show?
King's Cup. You don't follow? You don't follow
What?
King's Cup on Instagram, Ariel?
No, I don't. Apparently not.
Yeah,
Tell us
I'm
about it.
hurt.
What is this?
Okay, so we have two different styles. We have a round robin, which is what's happening this weekend coming in Australia, which is the tournament style. You sign up to your divisions and you just go and compete. And then we also have the invitational style, which Phil Hawes, my last invitational, Phil Hawes was my main event, sorry, and he got a massive win. So yeah, this will be the third show this year. So
Wow, it's called
thanks
King's
for
Cup.
keeping up.
That's the name of the. I apologize. I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Uh,
I've been trying to be less online as well. Believe it or not.
Right,
Um,
right.
so it's and where is it taking place?
This one is in Brisbane. The last tournament was in Sydney. So we're just gonna like keep going around in Australia, and obviously the invitationals I'm hoping to bring stateside as well next year, probably early next year.
And will you be in attendance for this?
No, because of my visa with the
Hmm.
United States right now, it's a little bit messed up. So, which is why I also wasn't there in person this weekend,
Ah.
unfortunately. But hopefully that gets all sorted out real quick.
Was it better to not be there, or would you have preferred if you couldn't fight? Would you like to be there or not like to be there?
I don't know because I haven't done that yet.
Right.
Or was I at International Fight Week? I don't think I even went to that. So, it was pretty hard. You can't really turn it off if you're there, right? So,
Right.
uh, I'm not sure, but maybe the fans would have made it better, and just like being there and interacting with them could have possibly made it better. Who knows?
But
I
why
will
didn't you?
be there though, so
I'm going
that'll
to
be
ask you
awesome.
about this weekend in a second. But why didn't you go to International Fight Week?
I think I just had surgery on my
Ah,
knee.
okay.
I think I'm talking like when I was meant to fight Jessica
Yeah,
Eye,
yeah,
not
yeah.
this year.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
thought you were talking about this year. Were you not there this year?
No, no. I think I was there. I
Okay.
think so. I can't remember. I think I was.
Do you think you'll fight again this year?
Yeah, I hopefully want to fight December 16.
Oh, in a
Yeah.
perfect world against who?
I'm not sure. I've been talking to Mick a little bit, and a couple of ideas that I had got shut down, but
Oh,
because I think that a lot of people are booked in my division. It's been moving really fast. Like a lot of people have fights coming up right now or just fought, and a couple of girls have had some injuries as well. Um, so yeah, it's whoever's going to be available. I just want to get back in there before the year's end. That's my main goal.
okay. So you say that you'll be there on Saturday, T-Mobile Noche UFC. They're
Right.
celebrating Mexican Independence Day weekend, and it's Grasso Shevchenko 2, your division.
Mhm.
What do you think? Does Grasso, does she pull? By the way, I see a person moving behind you. Be careful. I don't know if that's an intruder or something. I see the reflection of
Sorry.
someone walking around. I don't,
Yeah.
it's just kind of popped
I
up
had
out of
to
nowhere.
come upstairs because the kitchen was occupied. My boyfriend was making food, but he's now followed me
Now he
upstairs.
follow,
But
he
it's
just wants to shine. All right.
yeah,
Who wins?
maybe one day. I don't know. I think that Alexa would have taken a lot of confidence away from the last fight with Valentina after finishing her, and I think she'll start harder. But I also think that Valentina does well when her back's up against the wall, like when she needs a win and needs to prove herself. So I think that it's going to be great. I think I'm leaning towards Alexa
Oh, wow.
because I do want to see, our division have movement and like a new girl on top, I guess, would be awesome. Because Valentina did it for so long, but then I wouldn't be surprised if Valentina pulled it off.
It is a little bit weird when you have these like immediate rematches and then the former champ going into the fight becomes the champ again, and now you're like, well, what? Like, was the universe just trying to correct itself there? It is nice to see. It happened with Juliana and Amanda too. Like, it's nice to see the new face going to run. This is going to be a tough test for Alexa. And then if Alexa wins, like you said, do you go Blanchfield or do you go Furor? Do you have them fight each other to see who's the number one contender, or is there someone else that I'm not thinking of?
I think that Blanchfield and Fior will fight each other, just because I think this was a pretty quick turnaround, right, for both girls, Alexa and Valentina. So I think that they might have a little bit of a break. So I think the UFC will want to solidify who's next because I did hear Dana saying that he wasn't sure which one between the two of them would get it. So I think it's only fair to make them fight. But someone could come through and have a big performance and take the title shot away from them. Maybe, who knows?
Are you referring to yourself?
Yes.
All right. You think one more? We get back in there, we get on the horse, we win, and we make everyone forget about everyone else.
At the moment, I'm just focused on one more and getting a win. And, depends, I guess, on my dance partner and whoever it is. Maybe if they're a big name and I get a really big win, like a finish, because both of those girls got decisions, I think, did they? Fiore and Blanchfield,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think. Honestly, I probably am shooting too high here. I probably have more than one, if I'm being completely honest with myself. But the confidence is there.
It's good to
So
dream.
I'm ready for whatever comes. Yeah,
Yeah, you have to
exactly.
dream. Will you be at the
Yeah,
gym tomorrow for the big Sean Strickland homecoming?
I will be at the gym. I think he's back today already though.
Yeah, but
I think
is there like a big
uh,
like does someone reach out to all the fighters, all the pros, and say, please be at the gym by X o'clock? We're gonna welcome Sean. Like, is that what happens when someone comes back from a big win, a title win?
no, we all show up to every practice anyway. So
Oh,
usually the person who wins their fight comes in on the Monday. And after pro practice, we all have a sit down and we all congratulate them and have a little chat and they talk to us and stuff. So I'm sure that'll be what happens.
one day you'll have that homecoming, that big,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
the king coming home. Beautiful. Well, it's good to catch up with you again. All the
Yeah.
best.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Speedy recovery. Appreciate the insight. Good luck on Saturday watching. I hope everything goes the way you want it to go. Maybe Grasso winning is better for you. Maybe it opens things. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, I could see it going both ways, right?
I don't know if either is better for me. I
Yeah,
just think that in terms of like watching and like enjoyment, I think that the fans would like it to be someone new for a little while.
yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they can tell me. I'm sure that Valentina has a lot of fans that will tell me otherwise, but you know, it is always exciting when you've got a new person to chase as well for all of us girls. So we've all been looking at Valentina for years, and it would be nice to shift the focus, you know, train for something new.
Of course. You also have fellow Aussie and chosen few member JDM on the card for some strange reason, fighting a week after the Sydney card, but this happens sometimes.
I heard it's because they didn't want to go to Australia because of the tax reasons.
They meaning Kevin?
Yeah.
Okay.
But which is, to be honest, fair enough. I think it's 46% or something like that.
Really? Is it that much?
Crazy. Yeah. I don't quote me on the number, but I heard that it's a lot.
Wow. Well, that's a big opportunity for him. So I'd rather fight someone like Kevin outside of my home country as opposed to fighting a lesser opponent in my home country. I would think he's gotten a chance to fight close to home. I think he's from Brisbane, right? So not
he's
Brisbane,
from
Perth. He was there last February, right? Or this past February, right. I was thinking Brisbane
He
because I was thinking of the
cares
King's
more.
Cup.
Yeah. He cares more about the opponent than the place. I know that firsthand. He was a little disappointed about everything that happened in the last craziness going up his last fight, obviously. So yeah.
Casey, a pleasure as always. We still have your picture here, just in case you thought.
Yeah, I saw that. I always check.
Yeah, you
I
thought for a
actually
minute
checked.
we were gonna. Yeah, you thought we were gonna take it down. One time, I think you thought
You moved it from behind you to under you, so then I didn't see it, and someone messaged me telling me that it was not there anymore.
Yeah.
And I was.
And then I put it in a better spot, and then you felt a little silly for calling me out.
I don't know about Sally. I have to keep you on your toes. So.
All right. Appreciate it. All the best. Thanks for coming on. Great to see you. Great to talk to you. And hopefully we'll see you back in there in December.
Yeah. Thanks, Ariel. Appreciate it.
All right. There she is, King Casey O'Neill. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it very much. Hey, if you like this video, give us the old thumbs up. Subscribe as well. You could get many more of these videos on the channel. So please do that. We would love you forever if you did so.